Here we are. We're on, yes. Hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning, depending on where in the world you are watching the show.
Just so you know, I don't like it when I have to reach for my buttons. I need to fix that.
I know, we need to get it sorted so that let's build another set, why not?
Why not?
First of all, for those of you who have been following the marketing from Qualatex, and expected for a business class tonight.
Yes.
Apologies. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, we've just had to postpone it by 2 weeks.
Yes.
But we did do you a favour.
We can use the line. Every other business.
Oh, COVID. Due to
COVID.
Due to COVID. But anyway. In 2 weeks' time, we will be doing a back to business life after a pandemic.
But we have announced
yes.
who one of our guests are.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see that it is the amazing Dante Longhi from Brazil by way of New Jersey. And he will be there with us on the show in 2 weeks' time. So you've got that to look forward to.
I am looking forward to catching up with Dante. Haven't spoken to him in a while, so... This is going to be good.
Yeah.
And he's been busy bee.
He has been. So anyway, enough about that. We'll get back on with it later.
So what are we going to do instead? We're not going to do business. Well, so we said, let's have a think about what we could do on this show, because it wasn't planned in. Yeah. And we didn't want to pull something else that we had in the future forward.
So this was a bonus one for you guys. Yeah. And what happened was a year ago, to practically the day,
pretty much.
We were in Sao Paulo,
So
Brazil.
Says my Facebook feed.
Yes. And those that were also at Sao Paulo have been sharing those, and we were tagged in by the photo that's on the front cover of this show.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's Carlos, which we really appreciate.
It's a great reminder of a fantastic event.
It was absolutely amazing event. Anybody that's been to any of the events there in Brazil will tell you just how incredible they are.
Oh, the bore and the dull, you don't know.
So what we decided to do was we would take just a little bit of one of our classes and share with you some of the designs that we particularly like from that. So
that was a bit of a whirlwind event anyway, so it's good to relive it, you know. Let's do it, let's share it.
Yeah, and I'm just having a little look over there as well for those over on Facebook World.
Yes, don't forget to say hi in the chat on YouTube, Facebook, and Facebook. I think we're on a couple of different pages today. We thought we'd share across the platforms.
We did. So we are across the platforms. So what we're going to do first of all is we've covered up our normal Qualatex wall at the back there, which normally has all of our foils on. With a green
I think the thing we're doing some fancy green screen stuff this week.
No, we're not doing any fancy green screen stuff.
We're going organic-y.
That was just a background. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a wall, first of all.
And we want to be able to see it, and we're kind of going to build a bit of a scene. And we've decided we're going to put this in our window, you see, so we're going to do all the trimmings for it. But we thought we'd put the green up, just so you can see it in all its glory.
So what we need, first of all, is we're going to build a wall, and we, like it says in the description, we are going to use the Quick Link X pattern wall because we love that wall. For those that are new to us and fairly new to balloons, we've got a couple of Quick Links. Now the Quick Links come in bags of 50, like this. Qualatex Quick Links in 3D.
Should we quickly show the picture of what we're making, just in case the people haven't seen the promo stuff?
If you wish.
Yeah. Only because I've got a picture.
Then that puts the pressure on for it has to look like that at the end. We've
only got
half an hour.
Let's see if they can tell if it's right or wrong by the end.
Yeah.
I also did it for a secondary reason.
Right, what's that, to remind you?
To remind me what we're making.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're making the tropical wall. So it's 120 Quick Links.
I'm just going to do my shoelace up because I don't want to fall over on camera.
Okay, you do that. I'll talk to the guys. It's 120 Quick Links for this version of the wall. It's 10 Quick Links high by 6 chains wide, but we'll show you how we put it together because you might have put walls together yourself, but we do it slightly differently because we like to try to be as efficient as possible, and when we pack in vans and vehicles, we like to get it in there, and when we move it into venues, we like to make it as easy as we possibly can.
Because, I mean, in an ideal world, if you go into a venue with a complete finished item, it's great.
Absolutely
because you've got no on-site build time, no inflation equipment and all that kind of stuff. And the least time on-site, the better because you want to be efficient in and out. But that isn't always possible.
It isn't.
You want to be modular.
I mean, the thing is that this particular design can it can stand there for up to 2 weeks. So we could have made it, a week ago easily, and then dragged it into the venue for the night of the party or whatever event, and it would be fine. But like Dom says, it's not always possible to move big stuff around.
A lot of our columns, if you made a column, it's rigid, you can't do much with it. So the more flexible something is in a bag that you can drag and throw in, the better for us. Because, you go through the venue, you've got those big double doors, and you kind of have to drag bags through.
Yeah.
The easier we can make that process, the better.
Yes. Also, just a little note. I'm saying there's lots and lots of languages. Hello, everybody. There's tons of languages. We've got Sweden.
I know what you just remembered.
We've got Mexico. We've got people from all over the place anyway in the chat. The last show that we did, which was the how much should I charge for that, all about pricing.
It's free. We did it for free, Keith. You don't need to charge.
Yeah, but how much should you charge for it? We've just released today the first run of subtitles in Spanish, Portuguese, French, English. What else?
You said it and I forgot it.
Russian. There's a few others that we've released in the first wave. We'll be doing some more. Now, we understand that at times we talk very quickly, but there is a little setting you can do on the videos when you watch them back to watch them at half speed or 3/4 speed, depending on what's more comfortable for you to read the subtitles or just to listen to us. Whatever.
It's also good for if you're watching any of the twisting videos from the Qualatex channel as well, because some other really good videos out there, but sometimes they are at a little bit of a faster pace. Even they do double speed ones, which is great, but just slow it right down. You can really follow along as you're working.
Right. But we need to get on with this. So I have a premium twin air sizer built into the desk right here, and I'm going to set it to inflate balloons to approximately 9 inches. So I'm just going to inflate 2 quick links to 9 inches. Now these are spring green, and what I'm going to do is tie them together across, over, once and twice round, and tied off, because we don't want it to stretch in between there. So we're going to use the green balloons with the green background. It's like I'm blending in, right? Like I disappeared.
One of the things as well with this particular machine is Keith's inflated those two and start to tie. What we would do if we're working fast like this, he would, as he's picked them up, walk away.
Yeah, basically it's the step off method. So that, I step off, Dom steps in.
Ready to go. So I'd have my 2 balloons ready. And the beauty with that is the machine's working,
twice as fast.
It's like, one machine for 2 people, and he can keep up with that, and that's great.
And it depends on what size you do, and if you're doing slightly smaller, you can actually have a third person step in between as well. So I step off this way, next person steps in, and steps back.
Great for your step count.
Yeah. But the larger the balloon, they're a little bit slower than it is, the more time you've got. So doing things at 9 inches, 2 people working the machine turns out pretty good. Okay, but we've already inflated a load of these. So we've tied 20 together in a kind of a here's what we made earlier situation. So we've got 20 quick links all tied together, nice and tight, and then we're going to finish that off and tie them together in a giant loop. So what I need to do is, when I'm tying them, is I'm going to push the air out of the tips as much as possible, and then pull up and take it around once and twice, tie that knot over the top, so again it doesn't stretch when we start putting this together.
You often see the connection from the nozzle end to the tip end. If you don't do that double wrap, it tends to stretch apart, and that's where they tend to undo on a lot of people, and that's where you lose the consistency. But that double wrap is the way to go. Now this is traditionally what we would put in a bag now. So we'd use our large decor bags, and we just throw this guy into that bag, and that's going to move around, loads of flexibility, and we don't get any burstages with that because it's super flexible.
It goes through doorways, it's absolutely no problem. You can really pack them into the bag.
But the inflation's done and the tying's done, but if you do have an issue, it's easy to fix. It isn't in the big build, it's quick to fix.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 of the quick links, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and twist them across each other once, twice, 3 times a lady.
No?
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, to stop it from untwisting on itself, I'm going to take a duplet of 5 inch. Now these again are random greens. The 3 colours we're using are green, spring green and lime green. These are 12-inch quick links. These are 5-inch.
Don't overthink your selection. Just ditch them out onto the side and pick them up as you inflate. But again, all these 5-inch, pre-inflated, into a bag, brought separate.
So then it means I can bring them through, cross them over and halfway back and then that stops it from untwisting on itself as I go. And then I'm going to go down to another 4, and I'll go once, twice, 3 times, pulling the next cluster through, pulling it, cross over, and back again. Take the next 4, down it goes once, twice, 3 times. A lady.
It is tempting to twist these together and then kind of pass them off to the next person, but you do tend to find, because there's quite a bit of tension in that quick link when it twists together, it might unravel itself a little bit. So for us, the most efficient method is to pop that 5-inch in there whilst you're working. There is some more 5-inch to add to this. We'll just add them afterwards. These are the important ones to stop it untwisting on you.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've done that together, and then what we need to do is down with the top and the bottom, we add another duplet of the 5-inch. You want to do that one? And then down one side we add another series of 5-inch duplets all the way. One more.
One more.
Thank you. Uno más. Por favor. Okay.
Now, working modular on site, we would prepare this panel and then push it to one side and then continue on making however many more we need to make to add to the section.
We have that one, but here's a one we prepared earlier. So there's our second one. And our third one. We have a third one.
Incoming.
Would you believe it? We have a fourth one.
Incoming.
We have a fifth. And that must mean
I promise it's the last.
One more. Okay, thank you. Dominic did that very well.
Well, you know, we put a bit of effort in.
Okay, so it means if we're making a giant size area, what we can do is we can have these stacked up, and they stack really neatly when they've had those 5-inch already put into them and they don't want to twist back on themselves.
But the stack's so neat because of that, It makes it so much easier. It's just making sure that you remember to only do that one side, and by stacking them in this kind of the same fashion, you're more organised and it stops you looking stressed on site. Because I know the first time we went on site with a build, things kind of disappear on your time, where you put things out, you know, people are talking to you, and you get a bit kind of, oh, what have I done, what haven't I done? So we go with a plan, what to inflate, what to build, what to tie, and what sort of piles we're looking at, and we've got to count on that. So that's our build, and then we can build the whole panel easily from there.
Yes, so when we put the panel together, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our first chains and we're going to add it on to the next panel. You're going to do that one?
Yeah, so you can see where they line up, so you want to make sure that they're at the top together. So always start at an end, because if you weren't watching and joined, you know, a middle section, you might end up being offset a little bit. So pick one end to work from, pull one of the 5-inch through, and you can twist them over and then push it back to the back. And then just work down your panel as you go.
Try and randomize it again. Don't put too much thought into saying, oh, that one was a green, so the next one can't be a green. The next one has to be... No, because then you start getting a pattern. With this, we just want it to be all random shades of green, so we'll wait until the end, and if we think something looks a little bit out of place, that's when we might change it. Chances are, though, we won't, because we're just looking for it being a random.
You spend a lot of time doing it, and it really actually makes it worse.
Yes.
It does. So we can continue on now with the build. So again, just lining up that top piece there. You can do this as one person, easy enough. We've just got a second person here because it's easier to show to the camera.
And also, as well as that, if I wanted to, is I could take one from this side, and as Dom's adding on to there, I can add on to this side if we were starting from a middle section. With this one, it doesn't really matter.
One of the things that we do when we're on site as well working is you can see this is touching the floor quite a bit. We're fine here, we have a carpet in place and it's clean regular, so we're okay to work on it, that's what it's for. But when you're on site, you don't always have that luxury, and sometimes if it is carpeted, there's all sorts of debris on there. So we tend to take the painter's cloths, so it's a nice, reasonably heavy canvas material, and it has a plastic backing on it as well, but we drop those down and it gives a really nice clean dust debris-free surface for us to put our balloons on. We're very careful to put a couple of signs out as well, asking people not to walk on it because we want to keep it clean, and we always fold it up when we're not using it. But that just means our work area is protected and we can trust the balloons going down on the floor, because there's nothing worse than spending, you know, an efficient time building, but then having to spend quite a bit of time at the end
cleaning or
picking all sorts off it.
Something's burst because it's been dragged along, something on the floor.
Yeah.
Couple more, and then we'll have a wall.
So this wall wouldn't fit into one of our delivery vehicles. However, the 5-6 bags of loose chains would.
Yeah, and that's another reason why we keep things loose and in bags, because also carrying single bags into a venue is a lot easier than carrying a giant piece into a venue.
Yeah, it's rigid, it's fixed, you know, it just makes it hard.
So this side was the unfinished side, because we only had the 5-inch on one end. So all we've got left to do now is, once it's together, take some more duplets and go 1, 2,
Great
3,
job.
4, and 1 more. Sorry?
Great job.
Ah, there we go, thank you.
Should we hold it up?
Yeah.
Look at that.
And then that gives us a wall to start with. Will it stand by itself?
See if we can kick
Kind
it out
of, if you pull that bit out a little touch.
close to.
Yeah.
Obviously this is not designed to be a freestanding wall. You can make it freestanding. We've done these with double layers. So we do 2 skins, a front and a back, and then the connectors that we're going to use, we can use them to stabilise it.
Yeah, Dom often dresses as Freddie Mercury to hoover the carpet as well. So there we go. It's true. He said something about wanting to break free or something,
Yeah.
I think.
Luke, I don't know why that thought popped in your head, my friend. I don't know.
Right, okay. So we've got a lot of gaps at the moment.
Yes, so we're going to use no more big gaps.
It's not so bad when we've got a nice green background like we have here, but of course most of the time we don't. So what we need some fillers.
Yes, we've pre-inflated those because you know what? We like to be prepared.
But the fillers are also sized to 9 inches, and we've used on one of the balloons is an 11-inch green, and on the front we're actually using 11-inch super agate, the rainbow super agate green.
Now, we love the agate, and any excuse to use it that has and gives it the value of its cost, we'll do. This wall that we've got here is designed for a single-sided purpose, so we're not going to see the back of it. It's not going to be the focal point, so we're not going to use 2 agates.
1 second, just let me noisy. So there we go, and I'm just going to round them off against myself and go once, twice round, and it gives us a nice duplet with the super agates. These ones are all finished by hand, so everyone's slightly different, that marbleized effect. And like Dom says, every kind of excuse we have to use them, we'll do our best.
But that's going to give us the value on the back, so it's going to give us the fill and the stabilisation, but we're not using the more costly balloon on the back when it's not necessary.
It's not needed.
If it was a dual-sided, then absolutely we
So
would
we just use standard green, which is a standard colour on the pricing range, right? It's not even a fashion tone.
We do squeeze them to make sure they're nice and round, because then they fill the holes a lot better.
Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill them now. I think we're going to have to slide this back out a bit, so that's because Dom and I are not the tallest of people.
We're vertically challenged.
Vertically challenged, I like that. So I'm just going to move these stands out the way. One there, and then I'll move that one over there. Gives us a little bit more space. Kick out that middle. And we shall fill. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking our duplet and we're going to push through the hole so it's just halfway through and it fills that space. And then we're just going to continue on. Whoop. That one's alive.
It's alive. I'll get it. I'll have that one. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was putting it over there for later.
Yeah. Doesn't sound
I'll
legit.
just throw some on there for you. And we're just going to fill up all the space with the super agates.
Even though they just push through the centres, it does add quite a bit of stability to the design as well.
Well, yeah, it does. It's that filling that negative space to make the whole thing more rigid, right? It gives it structure. Up we go.
And there's lots of designs like this that have been done with different patterns, which is cool to see. But this one, we've just gone for that agate because that gives us the pattern anyway.
Because everyone's random. Right, once we get the top ones more done...
It's maybe the hardest I've ever seen us work on cucumber.
I know. Let's stick it up so that we can stick the other ones on, Don. It's easier. Because once the top ones are done, we can put these against the wall and finish this off.
In you go.
Way.
Oh, a bit of static there. I'm going to electrocute it.
Two more.
Okay.
There we go. Did we get them all? We haven't missed the space, have we?
Nope.
I don't think so. Okay, so now how we attach this. There are many different ways of attaching a wall to a wall. First of all, we could have some magnets across the ceiling because we have magnetic strips across there, and we can hang it with some nylon line.
You could.
We could put attachments to the back wall itself and pull it in. I know Dante, I saw him do a version of that in, where were we? Kenya? Yeah.
Yep.
But in this case, we're going to use...
Well, I mean, always the biggest challenge is that's the question, how do I do it? You've got to know where you're going, and if you don't have an answer, if you don't have a solution that is there at the venue, then you have to take something with you, and that's base plates and poles is a good one. We've got some proper base plates and poles, but you could use knot stands. Benefit with knot stands as well, you can increase the height on it, although you don't have quite as much stability with the base. Although we have resolved that in the past where we've added a wooden base plate to the knot stand to give it a wider footprint. I think one of my all-time favourite builds with this technique was the wall that I did in South Africa. So it's actually this panel times 4. So it was 4 sections. So this one and another one higher. But then it was actually then double skin. So it was this times 8. So instead of the connector here, we had a 11-inch on the front, a quick link on the middle, and another 11-inch on the back. So it was 3 balloons.
That's double skin, so it means it stands because it basically means the whole thing's made out of quick link columns, so it has that rigidity. Yep,
and we actually did the same kind of build
when we did the giant book
for the OzJam 2018.
Which was 2 years ago. Actually,
oh my
2
goodness!
years ago.
See all these flashbacks
2 years
Facebook.
ago today,
Thanks.
I think, as well.
So that to me is just a brilliant solution. That's all air filled, and it had no framing at all.
No, absolutely.
But we do quite a lot of these, and our typical go-to is a base plate and pole done on a deposit. If it needs to be on a situation where we can't get them back because the customer's doing whatever, then we would use a knot stand and explain to them accordingly that it's not going to be as stable as this solution.
So we have a 260Q that we pulled the air out of and tied it into a knot, and then what we're going to do is we're going to dive behind this wall and just tie it in.
Biscuits and cake.
There's no cake. I ate all the cake last week.
Oh, what? Also, if we were doing a project like this to go out, these base plates and poles will be covered. They would have a 646Q pulled down over it, or they would have like a 350Q wrap around it to colour coordinate to hide that white coming through. Also, you could do a foil or some voile for covering the base as well. How are you doing back there?
I'm good. I'm going to
bring mine round.
Second 260Q at the bottom, but I think for this one we'll just do it right in the second one in. Okay, so
you're right, you have eaten the
as you can see, we have a wall. Yeah, they said we couldn't build it, but we built it anyway. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add to that But before we get to that, I'm going to let Dom do this because his buttons have gone off. I wanted to bring up the picture of the version that we did using an online digital tool to create like a virtual reality version of it.
You want that one, yeah?
A mock-up of it. Yeah, I would like that one. Thank you very much. Which has all the sizes on there, so you've got it all there with all the sizes.
How did you make that, Keith?
Very well, thank you. Well, actually, what we did was we used Chris Adamo's online balloon designer tool on there. So we paid our subscription, went online and designed it used there. It also allows us to mess around with all the different colours. However,
Keith is talking, then he stopped because he read a question. I saw him read the question. And it's, what's the approximate size of the wall? Yes?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to get this tape measure and I'm going to give you the measurement.
That's not a tape measure, that's a ruler.
Well,
but it's
same kind of difference.
Yeah. So we made it that way. The only thing is that super agates aren't available on Chris's tool, so we added them in using Photoshop to finish it off with. But if you want to just show it with greens, you perfectly can.
So what's what I say? It's a 3x3 wall.
It's a 3 meter
by, so 3 meters. Sorry, 3 meters by 2.5 meters high.
There you go.
So
2.5 meters tall by 3 meters wide.
So what's the conversion? So 3 meters, about 10 foot wide then?
Yeah, 3 meters. 2 meters is 6'6". So yeah, it's anyway. You convert yourselves. 3 meters by 2.5 meters
on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yes. And by 2.54.
I can't remember it, but Chris did actually mention, because somebody asked him about it. He kind of gave a rough dimension of an X. The one thing you have to be careful of that, if you just inflate 4 balloons and tie them into a kind of a square or an X, it's slightly different size when it's then pulled into a wall. So you do kind of need to do a bit of a panel
because
to work
every
out.
time you push anything like this, it pushes the balloons apart slightly and the sizing changes. Give me one moment as well. I'm just going to double check that everybody
can see that or hear that.
Everybody's all right on Facebook.
Yes, I'm going to actually measure that while we're on, you know.
You're going to what, sorry?
Measure that. So a square, we're looking at...
Yeah, somebody just asked a minute ago the software. It is the Chris Adamo's balloon tools online.
It's about 45 centimetres square, each X. So
there we go.
But the best thing to do is to measure a panel you've made yourself. Just make a sample of it so you've got an idea. We'll typically size these between 8 and 10 inches. Our 9 inches I'll go to, and then if we need to make it a bit bigger or a bit smaller, that's a bit of an inch either side. So
the next design that we are going to add into there is our panda. Now the panda is very simple, very easy to do, and it kind of, we used to do a teddy bear made out of quick links.
Yeah.
And then we converted it slightly and into a panda. So what we're going to do is...
Because the panda is just a black and white bear, really.
It's just a black and white bear, but slightly different, this one. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to inflate a couple of black quick links to 7 inches. And then what I'm going to do is just round them a little bit and tie them into a pair. And take them to add them to another pair that we've already made.
It's great.
And then we're going to tie those ends together to make it into a ring, just like all of these are, right? All of these are just rings.
Paying particular attention to the fact that you've pulled the excess latex with that, the tip of the balloon and wrapped it around a couple of times to maintain the uniform shape.
Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to create, so once we've got our ring, we need to create a cross. Now the cross is a couple of quick links size to 7 inches, first of all. So again, these are Onyx Black. So I'm just gonna, because they're really undersized, so I want to round them off.
It gets that consistency in shape and colour, so it is important to give them a little bit of a squeeze there.
Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is I need a couple that are smaller, so I need them down to about 6 inches. So I'm going to change the setting on my twin air sizer, and I'm going to get, I thought I had some more, there we go.
I see chat about the job cost form in the chat. Love to see it. Don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that somebody asked how much would it be. Yeah, if you know if you follow Q Corner, you should know how much it'll be,
yes.
or what we'll answer with it. Do the job cost form, because what we can sell it for is completely different from what you can sell it for.
Ta-da!
All right, okay. So I've done these 6-inch, these quick links. Sorry, 12-inch quick links, size to 6 inches, on to the end. So we've got the ones in the middle that are larger, and then the 7-inch ones, and then the 6-inch ones at the end. Then for the other side of the cross, we have a 7-inch and an 8-inch. Can you tell which one the 8-inch is? Yep, it's white.
Ta-da!
So we'll
But
cross
again,
them
these
together.
are all 12-inch quick links.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So it gives us this cross like this. Okay.
Beautiful cross.
A beautiful cross. Then I need some 5-inch Onyx black, which I have
We
here.
buried them under all of our green balloons.
Okay. And I just want the size to 3 inches. So it's just a single stroke.
Pass them to me.
And then what I'm going to do, sorry, I'll just do it as I go, I suppose.
Fair enough.
One on that
Offering
side.
to do some work. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah. And then we'll do this one here.
What I will do though is I'm going to move a few things out of the way to make it a little bit more easier for you.
Okay, thank you. And then another one. So we put one on each end.
How's about that?
Thank you very much. You did that very well.
I did. We don't need them. We
Okay.
don't need them.
So now we have our cross with the single 5-inch balloon on each end, and we have our ring. And all we're going to do is we're going to attach them to the ring. So what I want to do is take it on the outside.
And hold that so it stays still.
Thank you. That makes it easier. I take the balloon. I take it from the outside all the way around and to the outside again.
Because you
And
could
then-
tie that,
yes.
but that takes more
Effort.
on your fingers, and
Yeah.
it's going to
It's
pull
more strain on the balloon
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. So using these as modular connectors is so much better for the design and you.
It also helps hide the mechanics as well. So
Absolutely.
It's that way.
So we're going to
So
spin
then
this
just going to
round.
spin it around. So the opposite end of that cross, so you can see, there's the cross. Oh, there's the cross. This is going to go down, around.
Now we
and
do
back
have a
around that
graphic
side.
to share for this as well.
Yes.
So if you got a little bit lost and you want to rewatch it, don't worry. We've got a graphic that you can take a screenshot of.
Okay, so this is going to be the front. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to make sure that that knot's nice and tight, and then I'm going to chop those tips off. And then I want to do the same thing with where I've tied the 5-inch to the quick link here as well.
And this is just to the front, just to make sure it's nice and tidy.
Because what I need to do is I need to go beyond the knot as it goes down. I want to go beyond the knot, take it all the way around and back inside again, so that it doesn't have something sitting at the front, because some people might think it's rude, and we don't want that. And then the last one, I'm going to take it to the back, take it around so that it sticks out the back, and then it means that we have the basis of our teddy bear base. So there's the body with the arms coming over the legs and the front. Then from there, what I need to do, Dom's going to be your big moment in a moment, is I'm going to take
This is great. It makes a change.
4 5-inch Onyx
He's been
black
sat having cups of tea all day, and now he's sprung into action.
and sized to 1 stroke on the hand pump, which is a little over 3 inches. And I'm going to have them together as a 4 balloon cluster. I'm going to take the neck from the middle, push this down, and add that in with a figure of 8. So we have one last thing left to do, which is
Got a panda to him.
he's going to panda it to my whim.
Now, while we inflate this,
Actually, can you do me a favour? Will you stick up the graphic for the?
that's what I was going to say.
Oh, can you
Put
do
the
that?
graphic up while we inflate this.
Yes.
So they don't
Okay.
really need to see us inflate this.
Yeah, you can see the graphic because this has this, and also if you're using with a hand pump, it also has all of the stroke counts on for the hand pump too.
So while we get sorted and inflate, we'll just leave that up for your viewing pleasure. Oh, you know what I never put on, Keith?
What did you not put on?
I never put on some music. We had some background music.
I thought it was there in the background. I just thought I couldn't hear it.
There you go. See, because we moved out of the other studio, we haven't got our automations.
Yeah, no.
Being asked, are we in Brazil? I wish we were.
Yeah, it's yes, we're in Brazil.
Luke's but no, they wish. You're right, Luke. We do.
You're right. We were in Brazil last year at the Sao Paulo event. That's why we were. All these designs were originally taught at the Qualatex Event Brazil.
It's flashbacks. What an amazing. I think thinking back though, my favourite class was our Q-Boom class.
Yeah, there's a reason that your favourite class was the Q-Boom class. It wasn't to do with what we taught, although that was fantastic.
It was.
It was actually more to do
with the lovable Itamar.
Yeah.
Watching him watch us do the Q-Boom class as he's dancing on his little toes.
Yeah,
because he's excited
because he knew that they were going to pop, and then when they pop, he finally was bouncing on it. So there's a video out there.
There is a video out there. There's a video for. Let me take that graphic back down. There is a video out there on the channel for Q-Boom in Brazil.
Yeah.
And the backstory to that was 15 minutes before our class, and we were doing 3 of the same classes back to back. Yeah. The hotel informed us that they have a no confetti policy.
Yeah.
Yes. Itamar made it happen.
He did. He absolutely
Thank you,
did.
sir. Right, okay, I'm going to get a 260Q.
You get a 260Q,
I'll do that.
And I shall do this.
Go all the way over here and find a 260Q. And I shall take the air out of the 260Q and tie it off. And then I shall pick up the panda because I dropped it.
I see. By the way, thank you very much for all the comments about the class, the pricing class.
Nothing makes us happier than that feedback.
There was one that particularly hit us as well, is the fact that there's somebody that actually had a background in business.
So such a good point, this one. This is why we are so passionate about this subject.
Yeah.
So business background, so they're aware of
new.
Aware of costings, they've done job costing, and they went back and did an example, right?
Yes, and they found out how little of the cake was left for them.
Yeah, by doing a discount.
Yes.
How that ate into their cake, and actually, thought-provoking. And that's what it's all about, is going back, and you know what? We did it. We went back and did a job cost exercise, and we saw the mistakes we were making, not on everything, but on some terribly. So we had to kind of refresh our pricing, refresh our designs, and it's not ideal, but we needed to do it because we were losing money.
Well, exactly. I mean, people say it's like, well, I've always been charging for that, so I can't increase my prices because my customers will no longer pay for it. Well, the thing is that realistically, if you're losing money on it, then you can't afford to be making it in the first place because it's costing you to make the money. What we suggest is, if you find yourself in that position where you check it out and you're not making the money that you want, introduce different styles of designs and just phase the old ones out, bring in the new ones at the new pricing structure, and it's kind of a better way of going forward.
It just smooths it over. I just noticed that we've got someone joining us in the chat there, Asha. I mean, they may have missed some stuff. Maybe they might catch up.
Oh, you might catch up. Ah, there we go.
Sorry.
That's the girls from Canada.
Oh, Canada. So we get distracted way too easily. So we're going to attach the head. In he comes. So I'm just use a 260Q with the air taken out, tied on with a roll-up technique, and then we're going to pull that into the centre of the panda.
If anybody goes onto our Instagram account, you'll see that our profile picture for the Instagram account for the Boys Q Corner is a ketchup bottle, and it was made by the lovely ladies of Pasha Balloon. So thank you very much, ladies. How many years can one charge the same price without customers think you were charging too much initially? Hey, that's another good question as well.
So well, say that again,
good point, Luke. Luke is saying is that if you don't increase your prices, it means that you were charging a lot in the first place because you can afford to not put your prices up.
It's a very valid
as
point.
Everything else increases. Yeah. It's a great point, that, Luke. Thank you.
But being stagnant on that pricing it's not showing things are moving.
Using the wrong colours. I need to get some white 5-inch balloons.
But we had a particular design that gave us a problem at the beginning because it was popular and it was underpriced. So we had to tweak it a bit. and you know, we had to say that, you know, that wasn't available, that design. So it was, but we kind of fibbed a little just to kind of get the customers out of buying that one and buying something else.
Yeah.
And the transition, you need to be creative with, but give them some new exciting designs to work with to distract them away from the other ones.
Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is a 5-inch balloon sized with just one stroke. So obviously this is just plain white. And what we do is we do our split duplet where we twist it in half, and then at this point we bring it through and twist it over to create these little bitty hands.
Just before you dive off on this one, just to focus on the point that Keith's got the knot at the top. So many messages of saying their split duplets don't look the same because they've got the nozzle out the side. If you want to do a pinch twist on the end, that's great, that works.
There's two ways of doing it as well, as that we found. People find things easier doing it different ways, right? So this way, I might go around there actually, see if I can fit myself in between the camera.
There, whoa.
Really close. I know.
Camera adds weight on Keith, remember?
Yeah, I know, but there we go.
He's going for it. I'm going to watch it. Hello.
Right, okay. So, this is the 5-inch balloon. Now, if the way that I do it is that I put a finger over the top here, and I put my thumb over the top here, and I kind of squeeze and twist and do it that way. Now, some people find it hard, find it easier to do that. So they're doing this and the twisting is easy. But on some people, put the fingers over the top and kind of interlock and squeeze in and twist. Try it, find out which one works best for you. Just remember that you're looking to try and get that knot in the middle, not sticking out at the end.
One thing to add to that as well is, again, you know, find the way that works for you. But I find that when people struggle with it, they tend to kind of scrap it and start again. So they'll twist it and they'll go, let's say, I don't know, one side's bigger than the other.
Yeah.
So they'll stop and go, oh, right, try again. And you'll be backwards and forwards dozens of times, and you're going to fatigue the balloon and get really angry with it. The kind of, for us, the trick is, if you don't quite get it right, just untwist it, like kind of half a twist. So it's still twisted, but what you can do is you can roll the air between the two sides, so you've got a bit of control. So I can actually, well, okay, they're about right, but I can make one bigger than the other, push it back the other way, and you can balance it between the two without having to completely undo it. I think that helps a lot of people not to have to keep starting again.
Okay, so we have our panda design. We've run out of time already. I know, we've been ambitious for doing it. So a couple of things that we like to add in. Two can play that game.
Oh, I'll leave this one here. No, I'll go get it.
Oh, you can't leave that one over there.
A couple of ways for connecting in balloons like this. We can, you know, obviously tie clusters together and bring them in with some 260Qs. That works. We can do connection points on the back, and we can bring them into any of the connections on our back wall. We can bring them into the 5-inch. We can bring them around the 11-inch here. Sometimes, depending on what we're trying to position, we might change one of these 11-inch balloons for a 12-inch quick link. Still sized to 9 inches, but it's going to give you that connector to tie onto. So you can have one of them done like that, two of them done like that, depending on what you want to do. We actually did one of these. In fact, we did one of these for Katie's, Heath's daughter.
My daughter's birthday. She had a space party. She was over the moon with it. She thought it was out of this world. Okay.
Tumbleweed on the mood.
Yeah.
So it's a great way of saying, right, okay, we can do that. And we actually did a name banner with it using the North Star 16-inch. And what we did is we used some 350Qs and we attached them across the diagonal onto some quick link connectors. But that gave us 2 running strips to just use balloon bond to add in the letters. It's a great kind of substructure to give you everything you need to build off.
Yes. One last thing that we want to add in there as well. You're going to add them. You're going to stick a couple of them in. Right. While Dom's doing that, I'm going to inflate these. So these are 350Qs in rows, and I'm just inflating, leaving a small amount of tip. I'm going to create a woven rose. Let a little bit of air out. With these, a Originally we learned to do this with a 260Q, and then we went down to 160Q, and then we went up to a 350Q.
Now we do them all.
Yeah, and now we do them all because it's the same technique. And what we've done as well is in the description for this video on YouTube, for those that are on Facebook, you need to get yourself over onto YouTube. That's youtube.com/QCornerShow. And there's a link in the description for a tutorial video on the Qualatex channel of how to do the woven rose technique, because you might not learn it from this time, because it's a bit of a thing you have to watch many times and practice as you're watching.
And watch it slowly as well.
And yeah, and like Dom said there, watching slowly, turning the speed down a little bit, and watching it slowly. Can we see a 646Q? Yes, you can absolutely see a 646Q.
You didn't specify.
Give me 1 second. Of course, not in rows.
Luke, you should know better.
I'm sorry, but it would have to be in red. Luke, there we go. There's a 646Q. You're welcome.
I'd have thought you had some stock of those.
Okay, right. Then...
He's like going, I wish I typed that out for me.
The last one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of those onto there and then tie them together into one big loop. And then the one that's tied through, I pull it through and pull that in and twist. Pull that in and twist. Twist. And last one in and twist. So it's all locked. Right, okay, now here's the trick. There's only one technique to make the woven rose, okay? All you're going to do, it's all about hand position, and it's actually a lot easier to see on the 350Q.
Yes.
On a 260Q or a 160Q, you generally do a 6-petal version, but on the 350, we prefer the 5-petal for it. So I'm going to show you. It basically works as that this is your first loop, this is your second loop, and this is your third loop. So the first loop is at the back, the second is in the middle, and the third is at the front. And all you're going to do is you're going to change the position of the one at the back and the one at the front through the middle one. So the hand goes at the back and you just switch the position. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay? It's very simple that way. Somebody's asked, will this video continue to be available on Q Corner channel after it's over? Yes. All of the videos on Q Corner are available afterwards to watch at any time. Okay. So again, so now we move round one. 1, 2, 3. The one at the back switches places with the one at the front through the one in the middle. Then move round once more.
But what you've also done there is you've moved the balloons round so the position's nicely fixed. So you're kind of moving it like a steering wheel. So much easier to follow.
And through the middle. And through the middle. And then all I have to do is just keep going round until it sits straight with all the ones at the back coming in front of the ones that were at the front.
And a good way to tell is if you look on the front, you'll see one up, one down, one up, one down, one up, one down, one up, one down. It'll be the same on the back as well. If it's a little bit off, you might end up with a situation like this where it's not quite in sequence. So just look to see where the sequence is and then work out, oh, this is the one that needs to be just pushed back down.
Okay, and then that gives you our woven rose. So what I want to do on this is I'm going to, instead of just having it nice and soft rounded, I want to create points on the end. So I just pull them in, get my finger and thumb and give that a little bit of a twist.
It's a tropical flower now.
And it's, what it does is it just puts that little point to the end of each petal on the rose.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I've just added some click stretchy balloon tape on the back there with the 260Q so they can be added in. I tell you what I'm going to show as well, because I got a message after the last show because of the way we use our tape.
Yes.
So this is something we do all the time. It just makes it a better dispenser for the tape. When you buy this tape, you'll see there is actually a cutout on the outside of the box. We just pop that out. And what you can do, has there one there, is there?
There's one, yeah, there's a full one.
So yeah, on the side here, it's sealed. So let me do this one. Open it up. We take the tape out of the box completely, and then you go to that little part there and you just pop out the tag there. And then on the inside of the box, this is the tab we've taken there. Take this side of the box and just lift it out. Okay, unfold it. Take the tape and feed it through so it comes outside the box. Now, initially when we did it this way, sometimes the tape disappeared back in, or it's quite loose and it all unravels. So what we do is we bring it around the outside of the box, then this flap goes back over. Lift the tape up a second to tuck that in, and that adds enough resistance to stop it all unraveling. You can put that out and then you can feed it through. This is especially good when you've got staff, because they know that this is the good tape and not to use it to put posters up on the wall.
Yeah.
But if that tape's outside the box,
oh, you'll never get that tape poster off
that
the wall again.
poster's not coming down.
Okay. So now that we've got our flour,
Beautiful.
we've got a 5-inch yellow that I'm going to do a couple of strokes of. Make sure it's nice and round, and I can pull that into the middle to finish off our flour. And then I open it up by pushing it so it opens it up as a nice big flour. Somebody just said, oh, Luke said it's a golden nugget. Thank you very much. That was for the tape dispenser. I'm going to just grab a neck from inside of here, and I'm tying it onto the neck. Or like Dom said before, if this was a quick link or something, we could actually have the quick link and have that as the connector, which is, are we doing that for this one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah?
Show it.
Okay, I'm just going to get a quick link.
You might.
And where are we going to put it? We'll put it here in the middle, this one.
Yeah. One of the things also to consider is sometimes the placement of the connection point. Sometimes if it's too low down, when it's held onto it, it'll roll forward. So typically we'll put these a little bit higher.
So it always wants to roll down
and
into
it fills the gap. If it's going to be an issue, if it's a, it's not a uniform balloon, it's a bit of an unusual shape, sometimes you might want to put 2 connection points on, so you've got some control over what angle it's at. A lot of the time though, with the elasticity of this, you're going to be okay.
So normally for this one, we would just have the green balloon on the back of it. In fact, I'm going to do that. I can't not do it. And then have a quick link on the front. So size the same, so it's 9 inches. And round them off like this and like this.
This is especially good if you're planning ahead for the wall as well. If you've got some specific spots that you want to put it on, it's something that you can plan ahead, have these prepared. Oh, why did I pull that too tight? Working too fast.
Yeah.
You can plan ahead and you can actually decide where they're going to join to, and even do an overlay with the graphic and have that on your picture. So especially if you're doing something like for a client as well. Let me just yeah.
I knew you were going to need that.
Yeah, see, now we're working on the floor, you see.
Yeah.
Thanks, you stick that on, I'll talk. Yeah, so if you've got a specific design you want to actually do and recreate, quite often with this is we'll just put them anywhere we want. We're not really kind of overly thinking it. You're going to give them a bit of a design idea, and you're going to work something towards that. This one, you can see that it's got that downward drop. That's fine because it's going to sit into the wall. If you needed it to be a specific kind of angle, we'd stabilize that with a cluster.
Just a cluster of 5-inch balloons on the back of there, and then it means that it gives that extra tension. You can turn it. It's good for if you're adding other balloons into the design, which can also coordinate with the theme. Things like
what you got.
The toucan have a wild birthday. Of course, the panda square, happy birthday.
Yep.
And the one that people don't often think about is the sloth birthday. This works well with the
people are loving the sloth design, as well,
which also means that you can drop in the big sloth too. Certainly, you can imagine them sitting on a like a cluster of balloons, and he sits down on this side and fills the space.
But don't forget your coordinating latex as well. There's Panda 5-inch latex, great for little handout giveaways.
Yeah, there's a philodendron, the tropical greenery.
24-inch deco bubble for some table decor that works well with this as well. You've got so many kind of spin-offs of bits of decor and
so much
table.
coordinating product.
Yeah.
It's dead easy. You know, this is so easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this would not fit in our delivery.
So our half an hour class, which is now an hour class, is finished.
We can't help it.
We don't. We absolutely.
I'm not even going to apologise.
No, because we love what we do and we love sharing it with you guys.
I think everyone especially appreciated seeing the 646Q key.
Yes.
I think that's what people like the most. Brilliant balloon.
Yeah, somebody was laughing about that trick on Facebook as well.
We should have known to be more specific.
Time does go past, Cam. It's the same when we're watching you guys on the Cam and Eve happy hour. If you haven't seen it, I don't understand why you guys haven't seen it yet. But Tuesday, get yourself over with Cam and Eve.
I just think Taco Tuesday, though.
It's not Taco Tuesday, it's Cam and Eve Tuesday.
I know, but I like both. So
well, you can eat tacos while you watch them. Why not? Double up. Always sounds so good.
It's crazy.
Hey, I tell you what, guys. You guys in the chat have been absolutely fantastic. We're going to have to go back and have a little bit of read through.
Yes. But a special thanks to our fantastic translators out there.
Oh, we've got a little quick note as well on the 16th.
Oh, yes. So the 16th of September, we have, what's that? It's really short.
Chris Adamo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Adamo is the next in the What's Hot Right Now webinar.
Yes.
He's going to be doing that with the Qualatex webinar series on the 16th.
Now, it's not officially announced yet, so the information's not out there, but it will be there soon. But if I was looking for information like that, where would I go, Keith?
Well, I find that you can't go wrong with Qualatex.com. So what you can do is get yourself over to there and have a look on the event section. It's not there quite yet, but it's going to be announced at any point.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys are already signed up with all the right places, right? So you get the information first. If you're on the mailing list, on the Qualatex.
Actually, we'll get you used to watching the Chris Adamo, so you'll just see his chin like this, because he'll be off the camera.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We just need to create some organic clouds around here, because of course he will be doing the organics class. Cool. So you're not going to want to miss it. Learn from the very best. Yes, I think that's it for us for now.
It is. And our lovely panda.
We're going to leave you with our lovely... This is our cuddly panda.
Yes.
Not Peter Panda. He's the different one, right? He was the same as Lottie. Leave a thumbs up. Please give us a like on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, appreciate if you subscribe.
Why not?
2 weeks' time, though.
Don't forget to hit that notification as well, because then you'll know of some stuff coming out.
Back to business. Yeah, life after a pandemic.
With the wonderful Dante.
I like to say life after a zombie invasion, but no, it's just a pandemic. It's just a pandemic.
It's just
a pandemic.
The everyday pandemic.
Right, you guys take care. Stay nice and safe. Keep your families nice and safe, and enjoy with your ballooning. We'll speak to you very soon.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now.
We're not gone yet.